Of the Castle of Good Hope was laid in August 1666 by the Dutch. The castle was intended to serve as a defense against two main enemies, the rival European powers who could attack from the sea and the indigenous population who fought to retain their land and freedom. Fast forward to today, and the Castle of Good Hope says its legacy project should serve as a platform and guide for the next generation, which will prepare to mark the castle's 400th anniversary. Once again, we cross live to our reporter in Cape Town, Vanessa Poonah, who has more from the Castle of Good Hope.
Yes, Leanne, good morning to you again, and rightly so. I think that is the aim from the Castle of Good Hope, as well as the Department of Military. Taking that baton forward is the of the legacy project, which has successfully been launched here a short while ago. Now, there's quite a bustle happening here in the castle courtyard, and this, I think, is exactly what the CEO of the castle board, Calvyn Gilfellen, wants to see. It's all about handing over the history to young people so that they can know about the history, Calvyn, and also, as you said, be informed going forward, because they are the future leaders. That is what this legacy project is about.
Yes, indeed. The sounds and smells and excitement is really feeding into my soul, because I think for too long we left history to be written by historians, old people, and it didn't really make sense to the youth. So today, with this legacy project, I'm very proud that we're handing over 350 years of the history of the oldest building standing in South Africa, representing the colonial apartheid era, handing it over to the youth to communicate it to their peers and to the future generations on Facebook, Twitter, and all of these medium that they like to communicate with, other than the archives.
Calvyn, also you said it's very significant that this legacy launch comes during Heritage Month, a day or two shy of Heritage Day, and also you mentioned Spring Day, but it's important because spring signifies youth and newness, and that is exactly why this project will see murals of the timeline of the castle installed in so many schools across the country. Yeah,
yes indeed. Spring is my favorite season because it really designates rejuvenation. It's also Tourism Month this month, it's Heritage Month, so it's really appropriate that we have this year. And as I say, the medium, we have a mural that we've rolled out. It's already rolled out in 72 schools, and it's going to another 200-300 schools very soon. The 350 learners here are part of that history, and I think they will tell their peers so that we reach the millions of people who are indeed in the schools. We also have designed a virtual tour, and we have schools competitions, because we need to make history alive. My experience of history was it was about dead people taught by dead people, or almost people who are almost dead. Yeah.
It's quite interesting, Calvyn. A number of these high school learners here that I've spoken to this morning from schools around Mitchells Plain, Khayelitsha, and for many of them, this is actually the first visit to the castle. And this is exactly what you are trying to change about bringing the history and the timeline into schools. Yeah,
indeed. We have a slogan, taking the castle to the people or bringing the people to the castle. I am very realistic. We can't bring all, say, 25 million of youth here. But the youth who can come and afford to come here, we accommodate them. But it's more about their experiences, because they will share those experiences with their nieces and nephews and with their cousins and their omas and their opas. And they will come here and experience for themselves. Because I believe that you can experience history through textbooks and through social media. But if you really want to engage with it in a meaningful way, in a tactile way, in a way that you can touch, feel and smell, then you have to come to these places. Robben Island, the Castle of Good Hope, the Voortrekker Monument, and all of these sites of memory, good, bad and ugly.
And Calvyn, also a place of deep pain, a place of deep divisiveness. We're standing just in front of these statues of leaders in their own right who have fought colonialism, oppression and so on. And this is also what you're saying, that no longer is the castle just to be seen as this negative place of pain, but also a place of overcoming that pain, leading to the new democracy that we're currently experiencing and enjoying.
Yes, indeed. When we arrived here a couple of years ago, there were huge gaps in the way that public history has been presented at the castle. And if you look at the four statues behind us, that's one step in trying to fill those gaps. And invite people, whether they are from Khoisan descent or Zulu or Xhosa or Afrikaans or Brit, to find a place in this castle where they can engage with the history in a meaningful way. So it's really about telling those own untold stories, telling the history in a healing and an inclusive and not in a divisive way, so that we move forward in unison and really be diversified in our unity. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Calvyn Gilfellen, the CEO of the Castle Board, talking to us about the successful launch here this morning, Leanne, of the Legacy Project, which will take the castle, all its history, but also a true reflection of history, not keeping it within these castle walls, but taking it into schools to educate the future leaders who will essentially be then working towards marking the 400th anniversary of the castle's just celebrated 350 years, and taking all that history together to show the Castle of Good Hope as a place of inclusivity.
Thanks very, very much, Vanessa. Really enjoyed your crossings this morning and the history that was shown from the Castle of Good Hope. Thank you. So